Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next guest on Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up.
Alrighty, welcome back again. That was our Brunch Weekly original single, and joining us now in the main camera, we are joined by Jen and SteveO of SteveO and the Crippling Addictions, or the Crippling Addictions, or SteveO ampersand the Crippling Addictions. Look for all of them, or at least look the Crippling Addictions, and you should be able to get there.
Or you just might get some self-help.
Yeah, you might get some self-help as well. Now, you guys are. I mean, I saw you for the first time play as this group when you opened for Bigwig, and two guys that were at that show joined us on the episode like 5 days later. It was our buddy Dom Trimboli and Dennis Andreyevich. And they were all at the show, and we were just sitting here talking, and I was like, yeah, I need to get them on the fucking show. It was, that show, for me, was just a really, really awesome feeling of like, oh, remember when this used to just happen all the time? Like, remember when we just had fun, and there was a good show because it was all local bands. Like, it was all local bands. It was you guys. It was Don't Panic. We had The Crowning, and then Bigwig, which for all of us back in the day, they were our local big band. I mean, they might be from fucking New Jersey, but we claimed them for sure. So I'm really stoked to have you guys on. I might even get stoked having you guys on. There's going to be a lot of really bad really bad throw-ins in there. This whole show might get slightly askew. But I just said them, but don't panic. All right. This is going to get good. It would be a holy mess. Greek favorites. All right. Yeah, that one doesn't fit in anywhere, so we just have to throw it out there. Kids. I wonder how long we could feasibly keep that going.
I haven't had a jerk reaction yet.
You haven't? Oh my god. I don't know what the percentage is, but we'll just, split 50. So, shortwave radio. There's nowhere to fit shortwave radio in there either. Oh my god. But, I mean, as made evident by those dumb jokes and the 8 people out there that understood all of that.
Dude, as made evident would have been a good name.
Oh, as made evident? Would have been better than Aspen Heights. All right, there we go.
That's a little bit of indecent exposure.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm getting cottonmouth. DN. I might just go outside and crush a pile. Okay. Seriously, 3 people are happy right now. There are 3 people, and I think we're all in this room.
You are really raking the mug 3.
What a Maxwell demon you are. So obviously, SteveO, you and I have the kind of the local scene in common. We both are very from different parts of the scene. I grew up in Bushkill, and we had like one band, and that is our super producer EJ 5000. His band Straight and Upright. They were like the band that connected us to the scene. That's what got us into Stroudsburg. All of us kids, everybody that was on the soccer team with them or in school, plays with them. We followed them to Toast, and that was our first introduction. We missed Bismos by a few years. My sister was in the Bismo years, but we had Toast around here. And the first time I ever saw you play locally was with Split 50 back in the day, and I remember. How many bases do you think you broke on stage as a member of Split 50?
Oh, shit.
Because that would be like, we would be taking bets like, is he going to break it this time? Is he going to break it this time? And I feel like more times than not, they got destroyed.
I was, at that point in my life, I was young, dumb, and full of rum.
Yeah.
And the thing was, you always felt like you were going to be successful the next weekend.
Yep.
So in that, $250 Mexican P-Base era, it was quite easy to smash them thinking you were always going to get a new one. I just never got a new one.
Yeah.
So I was always in the hole, $250 after I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it looked cool. From what I've heard.
Yeah. No, it looked great. I was at. Do you remember there was the show in the I guess it was called the Sanctuary, the Over the Edge basement. Where when
Under the Edge.
Under the Edge, yeah. When they put up the the blockade to separate from the people in the bands. They literally had like a wooden blockade that had like spikes on the end of it to stop people.
I do recall it. Yep. It was it was a different scene.
It was a very different scene. It was a very different scene.
When you had to actually protect the band with blades.
Yeah, wooden blades.
Yeah, like it was.
It was intense. But I remember being at one of those shows.
It was in the basement of the sanctuary. It was not in a tent.
Yeah, it was not in a tent. You were right. It was indoors. It was indoors. But yeah, I remember like seeing you back then and all those shows. But then I also have a thing that I don't know if you'll remember this, but I was trying to think back to like obviously like I knew you because you were in a band, and I knew you because some people I knew you. But there was one instance where we hung out about 16 years ago. One time. And
I'm running the Rolodex right now.
All right. And it was a name that was brought up earlier in a band that we've already referenced. I was really good friends with Skip McDougal, a.k.a. John Noah Worrell. He was living at my house over the holidays because he didn't have, people around. And so he was staying with us for the holidays. And he goes, hey, I'm going to meet a bunch of people at Walmart. We're going to play Manhunt in the Walmart. Do you want to go? And I was like, sure. So I show up to Walmart, and you and Jesse, who I just knew was vegan at that point, and a bunch of other people, I have no idea who they were. We were like, okay, and my younger brother Craig, we all went. We split up teams, and we went into Walmart, like separating each other by like 3 minutes. One was the hiders and one was the hunters, and it was basically this giant game of like hide and go seek in Walmart. And you wind up hiding underneath the bike rack, like where all the bikes are like put up. And you've been moving around, and you like we're like hiding from one place to another, and you slid underneath there. And unbeknownst to you, in that giant tower of like bouncy balls that they have, I was in the middle of all of the bouncy balls. So I saw you, and I knew you were on my team. So I was just like, after about 20 minutes of nobody finding us, I just went like, hey, do you think the game is still happening? You were like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't think it's happening anymore. And we confirmed we were on the same team, and we both like snuck out of our spots, and we walked outside to find everybody all corralled around one of the like cart corrals, and they had all been thrown out of Walmart for playing Manhunt, and they had actually tackled my 16-year-old brother. A secret shopper thought he was shoplifting because he's being all like sneaky, like oh. So Craig gets full tackled right in front of Skip, and I was just like, this is fucking nuts. And then we were all like, all right, and we just split up, and like went our separate ways, and that was it. So that was the first time I have any like real recollection of it going basically for me from the stage to from the screen to your stereo, no, from the stage to your life, of knowing you as like a person that wasn't just a cool punk rock dude that was smashing basses all the time. Now,
I have a story like that.
Yeah.
That must have been. I was 16, 13 years ago.
I'm on the grill right now. All right, let's go.
It was the first night I had my license. I was 16. There was a house show somewhere in Mount Pocono, and Holy Mass was playing. And I was the first person playing that night. I played like an acoustic set of like shitty punk rock covers. But it was the first night I was out driving by myself. Like I had a license, I had a Civic, and I was doing fucking e-brake turns in this guy's yard. Wherever we were playing at. It was a fucking shithole. And then I like
always were.
So I played, and then while the next band was setting up, I went upstairs in the kitchen. It was you and the rest of the band. And you guys got me fucking drunk.
Yeah, we were known for
and
so it's first night of being a driver.
First night of being a driver that I drove myself
to
a show. I fucking hammered with you guys. Because I'm 16. I was just like,
yeah.
Holy fuck.
So, and the crazy thing is like...
It's like, I don't know. I mean, there's a good batch of years there where I can like pick out a few good things that happen.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's just like, dude, the party was the party.
Yeah.
So a lot of times if I'm telling a story, I'm just like, oh yeah, remember that one time, that party? And it's always, for me, the same party.
Yeah.
However, it is vast.
It's spread out over 30 houses and 500 people.
But for me, it's just like, it's a living room and a bunch of people hanging out.
Yeah.
So it's just
you
like,
pick one that was the most comfortable, the one you liked the most.
That's the party where everything happened.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it transcends friends. It transcends years.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is just the one.
You ever find yourself telling a story about one of those nights, and then someone goes, "No, dude, I was there, and I was not nearly as fucked up as you, and this is what happened." You ever get corrected by those?
Dude, I love when people do it.
Because you're like, "Oh, now I know exactly what happened."
Jesse is the best guy for that because Jesse is both vegan and straight.
Yeah.
And Jesse is like the black box of a plane. Like he is like seriously.
True.
Where it's just like
he's small. He always wears black. It makes sense.
Yeah, and when I fall off, it's just like, dude, let me correct with the black box. Where did the plane land that night? Let's really see what happened in this flight plan.
Yeah.
And it really works out really well.
I Amelia Earharted myself last night again. I'm gonna need.
I don't know why I'm here, but Jess, can you tell me?
Yeah. I think I went Malaysia flight over here for a little bit, and I need you to be recovered.
There were Sam's coming up all around. I didn't know what the hell was happening, man. I was getting shot at from the ground, but I got it. We landed hard, but damn, dude, how did we get here?
Yeah, how did we? Now, speaking kind of in honestly in that way, we remember you from being young kids in the scene and you being in a band. But the funny thing is, like, you're only like 3, 4, 5 years older than 6 years older than him. You're younger than him, and you're only 3 years older than me. But in my head, when I was 16 going to a show. When you're 16, the guy who's 19 playing in a band because he's been doing it for the last couple of years has like a little bit of a step up. So for you growing up around here, and then Jen, I'm sorry, I know we're ignoring you.
Totally.
We're
totally
fanboying out.
Yeah, totally fine. I'm not from anywhere near here.
But for both of you, though, this question: were there people growing up in the scene that like you were involved in that you were exposed to? That you kind of looked at and went, oh shit, like when I was 15, that was the guy, that I loved.
I have the story for this, and it is seriously, like, for me, I grew up in Pleasant Valley High School.
Okay.
And so, like, our punk scene was pretty minimal at best. So when we were able, like, some people come around, like, spread flyers for shows or what have you.
Yeah.
And then, like, you'd, like, show up, and it'd be, like, it would be, like, a basement in Stroudsburg. It'd be, like, and this is even pre-Underworld. It'd be Bismos. It'd be
Terry.
The Karma Club. Oh, Terry, dude.
The
Like the shores this. Loch Ness. Yeah. So anyway, like for me, like actually one of my biggest influences in the whole thing, and I think he has a kid now and is no way involved in anything, but Josh Marsh from the Overdrives.
Overdrives
was for me as a youth, as a teenager.
Richie was in that, right?
Which Richie? There was a bunch of Richies.
Crutch?
Not Richie Crutch. I don't think it was Richie Crutch. I know Evan, who's playing in Wisdom, was in the Overdrives for a short time. I don't know the whole etymology of the band.
Yeah.
But long story short, it was like, dude, I saw like Josh Marsh up there, and it was like, dude, like this dude has a full sleeve of tattoos. Why can't I have a full sleeve of tattoos?
Yeah.
And it was like, not that I have great tattoos, but it was like one of those things where it's like, fuck, dude, I want to do that shit too. Yeah. And it was like, and then when I heard the songs, not in no way discounting the Overdrive. I think that Too Far to Turn Back is still an incredible album.
Yeah.
It's in my top 10. But the thing about it for me was just like, wait, I can do this.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like I saw
it was the gateway to you going, you're not like some rare super genius. You're a guy who knows what he likes and is writing music that he wants to play. I just need to know how to play something, and I can do that. That's the thing. Yeah, it wasn't like a super stardom thing. It was just like, oh shit, dude. Like these guys are playing this shit. I kind of have I have a shitty guitar my aunt got me. Yeah.
Like I have these riffs. Like and I was just like, oh shit, I can do this too.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, later on I joined Split 50 before I did it on my own.
But
But it was like. It was a.
So was that your first band there that you were like a solid bass player for or a solid musician in? Was Split 50 the first time that you were like listed amongst 4 or 5 other guys as the member of a band?
I had high school bands and shit, but it was like it was like always a rotating cast every week.
Yeah.
It was just like who the fuck wants to get high this week and jam guitars.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it was like like high school bands Split 50 was the first time I had to deal with like real being in a band shit.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that it was always positive, but the thing was I learned a lot of what not to do.
Yeah.
It is a good way to put it.
Failing is one of the best lessons you can ever have, is learning what not to do, for sure.
And the other thing is I met Yasko, because Yasko shortly thereafter quit to join Bigwig.
Yeah, dude.
We didn't reconnect.
That was scene drama in our world.
Oh, dude, that was big. That was like the Kardashians.
Oh,
dude.
my God.
Big scene
we were
drama,
like, dude, he's getting called up to the big leagues. He's going to play with Bigwig. Like, this is ridiculous.
Bigwig back at the time. Oh, my God.
Yeah. But that wonderful transition brought us all into the wonderful world of Michael Luchetti, and that was, that fucking man.
That dude's still one of the best drummers I ever played with, dude.
I love just watching his videos that he's put up on YouTube like a decade ago. His stick spinning skills, that motherfucker. Is he playing
on a cruise ship now?
Yeah, he's on a cruise ship. He's doing I think he's doing swing music. He's doing all sorts of things. That guy.
Swing music back then.
Oh my God,
he's. Split 50 delved into swing a little bit.
We recorded when I was the manager of My Steady Backfire. We recorded with him, and his mom was my sister's third grade teacher. So I knew of the family and everything from way back. But he was. He was a real cool guy to hang out with, but just at the end of every recording session, I'd be like, "Can you play drums? I just want to watch you play drums. You were absurd."
Dude, he was crazy. He would do triplets on the kit without even fucking around with a double pedal.
Yeah.
Where all the kids of the age were all fucking with double pedals.
Yes, they were.
And he was just fucking triplets on the kit. Like that, dude.
It was mesmerizing. It was one of the more entertaining things to watch. And when you got a good drummer, I think we all feel that way when you have a good drummer that you can sit there and watch. And you have a great drummer that I love to watch in Cliff.
We do.
Cliff is so fucking ridiculous.
We are so benefited. It's a real bummer he's not here tonight. The thing
he's
with
also
Cliff
the funniest one of all of us.
Oh, he's fucking nuts. So I love that boy.
And besides that, it's Cliff is my little brother, man. From back in the day, back when Cliff was but a youth playing in Precedent. If you remember Precedent.
I don't know.
Precedent was dude, him.
Oh, Precedent?
Yeah. The propaganda sounding band.
Yeah. I didn't realize that he was a part of that. Okay.
Yeah, he was the drummer. And
damn.
And back then he was having trouble at home, and me and Jesse actually put in to adopt him.
Damn.
To have him come live at the castle with us.
Yeah.
And not be involved with his home life, because his home life was really second. And that's one thing is Cliff will always say when he will post something on the internet or say that he's my son. It's actually closer to home than you actually think.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Because of the fact that we may or may not.
But he walked me down the aisle when we got married. Yeah.
Aww.
So when we got married, Cliff, because I don't have a dad, so I had Cliff step in to be my dad.
That's
awesome. Which I'm older than Cliff, so it doesn't make sense.
Now, Jen,
but it was fun.
For you growing up, what was the scene like? You grew up, you said you lived in Detroit and then Chicago. What was the scene? Were you into the punk rock scene at that point?
But the thing is, Detroit was more of a hardcore scene at the time.
Kind of makes sense.
And we had Negative Approach, Razzle Dazzle, which was my favorite fucking band on earth. If you're not familiar, you should be.
Yeah, I don't know them. I'm just gonna have to.
Razzle Dazzle
is
basically
in my brain of things
all,
to listen to.
It's all just about being stoned and eating pizza and
all right,
just partying.
I wouldn't have liked it then.
Yeah, fucking amazing. Fast as fuck. Honestly, each album is under 20 minutes.
Nice.
Fast as fuck hardcore.
With 17 songs on it, or?
Oh, it's 10 songs. And it's they're talking
just
about...
brutal,
there's a song where they're straight
face.
just naming that's there's a song that's just is foods that are round. And they just talk about, it starts bagels, pizza... Foods that are round, pancakes, waffles. That's how we get down. That's
good.
but so it's the whole thing is just they're all just talking about being stoned. But our whole scene was pretty tough. Punk wasn't really a thing. I remember the first time I even went to go see Against Me. It was in 2002.
Okay.
And I didn't understand that people weren't beating the shit out of each other because that's how hardcore it was.
Yeah.
And I grew up with
I stood at the back of a lot of those rooms wearing my camo shorts like a good soldier. And
I watched all these people and I thought the whole time it's I got called every name in the book. But the one person that actually stood out to me the most was when Walls of Jericho started.
Yeah.
And Candace, I became friends with her and she became a mentor to me. She she was everything in the world that I wanted to be.
Still Detroit.
Yeah, this is all in Detroit. So when I met her, she was actually, this is when she joined Courage Crew. And she was the only woman they ever let in that, which I was straight edge. Which, funny enough, I am not now.
I was until like 19, you know. And the harder the edge, the harder the fall.
I actually stopped I became straight edge when I was 18. From 18 to 22, I was straight edge. But she was like the biggest influence in the world because like you just watch this fucking little tiny woman who's strong as fuck and just dominating a room, and her voice was so powerful, and I always wanted to be like her. And like but that's like it, like I don't know, the Detroit scene was one of those places where it was like put up or shut up.
Yeah.
You couldn't just like show up and it wasn't as lax as like what like the Philly scene and any of these ones seemed like it was like no, like it was like hard. Like I don't know how many times I got the shit kicked out of me at this point.
Damn.
Like, you know.
Now, so you were in Detroit, and then when did you relocate to Chicago? What age were you
So
around?
I moved I actually moved to St. Louis first. My whole family is from Chicago. So I split, my summers were in Chicago, my winter, like, you know,
Did you get exposed to the punk rock in Chicago at all? Because I know
there
was
of course.
a really
like,
good scene back then.
Like Alkaline Trio and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, of
like
course.
The big guys from that era.
And I've known Matt and all of them forever.
Hell yeah.
Like,
so it's that pretty, it's still a tight scene.
It is.
A band that came out of a bigger city, because like for us sitting here and like talking to SteveO, it's like talking to somebody that like, again, I went to shows every week, and chances are you were in one of the bands that were playing that week. Was it the same, like, was it still grassroots feeling? Maybe not every week, but like you got to know everybody in the same way.
You don't really get to know everybody until like when I fully moved to Chicago. Like, when I was old enough, like, when I was younger, I didn't understand it. So, like, when Alkaline Trio starting out, and Rise Against, and all of those bands, I was going to see those bands, like, even the Smoking Popes and all that shit.
Love the Popes.
I would go and see those bands, but I was too young. Like, I'm only 31.
Okay.
So I didn't really understand.
Yeah, because that kind of hit was like the 97 to like 2000,
I was
2001.
Too young for it.
Yeah.
Where like I was living, and then I lived in St. Louis for a while, and then when I moved to Chicago, that's when like the scene like really started up with, I guess, like all like the indie punk like fest type bands.
Okay.
And then like, you know, like Kali Mossy, Typesetter, Turnspit, and all of those bands started getting big, and everybody, but we were so supportive of each other. That's the one thing that Chicago had, was that with like the punk scene, we all, every night of the week you went to a show.
Yeah.
I used to actually run a house venue, actually weirdly enough called the Schoolhouse.
Nice.
And we would have like beach slang played at our house. Like we, you know, Elway. Like you had like Elway, Sour Boy, Bitter awesome. Girl, like, I mean, you were invited there at one point. Before we met, he was invited there too. But yeah, we had, but so we always had like a shit ton of bands, and everybody, but the thing is, like, if there was something going on, you would text somebody and be like, hey, what are you doing? And this is even in my early mid-20s. What are you doing? Oh, there's a show at blah blah. Cool, I've never heard of that band, but I'll come anyway.
Yeah.
And that's how Chicago was.
That's
so
the sign
supportive.
of a healthy scene, because I remember back in the day when we had a good scene up until a certain place opened in downtown Strasbourg that didn't necessarily keep things living very well. And we might have rocked against a couple of things as well. But we all of a sudden had like no scene, But when I was like younger, it was like what's going on tonight? Oh, it's a Wednesday and there's a random show. Like we would have what was that? Fucking All American Rejects played on a Thursday night at Toast, and there were like 12 people in the room. And my buddy Randy and I, like our friend Joe Faree was the one that was booking at that point. Randy. But Joe Faree was booking Toast at that point. He actually took over. Our buddy, our producer Eric, was doing the booking for like a year or so, and then Joe took over. Now Joe's like running R5 and like runs.
Oh, dude, Joe's ridiculous now, dude. Like Joe's like he's running Made in America Fest. He's the guy booking Jay-Z.
Yeah,
like he's.
I talked to him when the Movie Life went through the upstairs room at whatever his fucking place. What's that place in Philly? No, it's me tapping my beer.
Oh, okay.
The Fillmore. There we go.
The
The upstairs at the Fillmore. Sorry, that was me nervous tapping because I couldn't remember the name.
Mike,
Fillmore.
at the back door.
I got you. Just give me like a second.
Yeah, I got back up here. But we saw Movie Life, and fucking Travis from Piebald played solo opening for him, and it was really weird and funny. And then I went up to him and I'm like talking to him afterwards, told him I was gonna be there, and we're just like bullshitting for a little bit. And I was like, so like this is fucking awesome, man. Like this is bands that like we talked about like wanting to book back in the day. He goes, yeah, it's cool. The hip hop scene's just way better. And he's like, that's just what I'm doing now. He's like, it's like I can book one person and have 1,000 people show up and just fucking like crush a night, as opposed to going, hey, remember this band from 17 years ago? They're playing with Senses Fail, and hopefully you show up for it.
Dude, hip hop guys blow money. Dude.
Yeah,
they just blow money crazy. Like we were doing our record out in Chicago, and that guy Tyga. You remember Tyga?
Yeah.
And the bar right down the street was like the recording studio was right here. The bar was like right here. And
was it at Cubby Bear?
I don't know if anybody can see that, but it's like seriously like this far. And
I think it's at the Cubby Bear.
And the thing about it is that like Tyga's bus showed up, but not only Tyga's bus, because he had a rap on his bus that said Tyga on it.
Mm-hmm.
But they had like 3 other buses that showed up, and he was the one guy playing. And you're just like, dude, these guys just like fucking like blow money. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they have all rap buses show up for the thing. There's a line around the room now, like around the whole bar. So I'm in the bar drinking, and there's a line of like fans of Tyga, like around the bar, like completely circumventing the bar. And he's just like, I can't get in or out of this place. I can't even smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, well, I might as well just post up because this is gonna be a while.
I'm just gonna chill here for a bit.
But it's like you see, the thing is they also bring the people to make the raps make it worth it.
Yeah.
So, and not the raps, but like the raps on the buses. And you're just like, how the fuck are you paying for this kind of shit?
Yeah, that's absurd.
And it's just like, but dude, they have the draw, dude. It's like one guy.
Yeah.
I saw Stitches in Philadelphia. Like, remember Stitches?
I love selling blood!
Yeah! That's dude, I saw him in Philly one time. He came, most juggalos I've ever seen. Most juggalos I've ever seen in the show.
Besides our show.
Besides our last show with Green Jelly.
I was going to ask about that.
So many juggalos!
We'll get to that. But with
fights.
Stitches, it was kind of the same thing, where it's just like a lot of juggalos in the room, a lot of fights breaking out. And nobody's there to play. Like, Stitches isn't even there. Showed up an hour and a half late.
Oh, Jesus.
Showed up, played 3 songs, threw a bunch of hats to the audience, and was done.
Damn.
And the dude was rolling in full tour gear, like the whole like bus.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's all it takes.
That's
I
all
was like, Jesus Christ, I'm in the long line to wait.
Yeah, you are. Oh my God.
So needless to say, we're becoming a rap group.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah, so
You're gonna have to start calling it the Crippling.
No, we got beats. We definitely got beats.
What does it mean we wear red or blue?
Dude, we'll be
Which one's Crip?
Just wear purple.
The Crips are
neutral.
blue, the blood.
Oh,
red,
so it means
dude.
we wear blue.
Yeah, you gotta fly blue.
Also, we're the
side,
Crippling addiction.
Yeah, the
Crippling.
Snoop Dogg.
I see what you did there. Yeah. Oh my God.
I got beats for y'all.
Yeah, he's got the beats.
I bring a lot of hip hop music.
Yeah, these 2 guys put out a hip hop album like a year and a half ago.
Oh, you don't want to hear about his?
Make us hip hop.
Yeah, I've been working on hip hop, but the thing is this. Let's talk about Lil Pocono.
Oh, dude.
Oh my God.
Lil Pocono. Zach, have you seen it at all?
The video?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's all.
Apparently he's getting.
Hey, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I like it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
fun.
it's
I
It's fun, man.
And the thing is, the fact is, the guy is repping a town that like I
Nobody
don't
gives a
even
shit
rap,
about.
dude. Like for real.
Yeah.
Like, and the dude is fucking not only repping the town, but doing it well.
Dude.
I have no.
I heard he was getting into some shit because he filmed in front of the Burger King sign and other businesses were in the background. And people were like, "Oh, you didn't get permission," blah blah blah. And it's just kind of like,
are you kidding?
And his response was basically like, "Yo, I'm trying to bring attention to a place that no one's trying to bring attention to. Go fuck yourselves." Like, fuck you.
What the fuck?
Oh
Who
my God,
cares?
it'd be great. Like we've had a handful of like successful people in all lines of music. Sure. I mean, G.E. Smith from G.E. Smith and the Saturday Night Live band graduated from Stroudsburg High School, and he ran the Saturday Night Live band all through the 80s, all through the 90s, up until like the late 90s, early 2000s. and he's an Eastburg or a Stroudsburg fucking graduate. Like we've had people like back in the day, Toby and Kev, Solution AD, they made it out. They got fucking.
I mean, there was a big
VH1.
music scene.
There
here
was.
for a long
Like
time,
we even had fucking Bob
Pocono
DeRoe.
Duo.
Yeah, Pocono Duo. Those guys. Yeah. We had Bob DeRoe, the guy who created fucking Schoolhouse Rock, was living in Delaware Water Gap for the last 30 years until he passed away. Like. We have like good.
We got
things.
street cred,
We've got street
motherfucker.
cred, and this kid is just pulling it into the current time. Like he is a YouTube social media sensation. Like he has 10,000 views like 2 weeks ago when I saw it, and it's just gonna keep growing. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Like we haven't had
The
no
problem
video.
is everyone wants to be negative, dude. The
Yeah, that's such a dumb.
And that's not even. That's not.
Dude, yeah,
even
we were
the
talking about
Pocono
this
scene
earlier
as, like, a
today.
bulk.
That's the world.
Like, we were talking about this earlier
the
today
Pocono
about,
scene
like...
is so funny to me because it's like, even if anybody is doing any little fucking...
Even if it sucks,
microcosm of
support
the
it because
thing,
they're doing it.
Everybody is so angry about
Amen.
it. And you're just like, dude, like, if we all, like, pull the wagon remotely the same way, we could all be doing
the
the same
pyramids
shit.
weren't made with a bunch of single dudes pulling stones. It was 20 dudes
That's
pulling
like
one
kind of
stone.
the fucked up thing is like all the
And
best
slavery,
bands,
so it's a bad
the
metaphor.
biggest and best bands have came from this area. Like you have Captain We're Sinking, the Menzingers.
Oh yeah.
Like obviously, like
The
not
Menzingers
well,
who
the
still
Holy Mess,
refuse
like,
to play
all,
around.
but like
Title fight,
all
title
these
fight.
title fight, Wicca
fight,
Phase,
yeah.
like Wicca Phase,
Yeah.
Tiger's Drop,
And then you go to the hardcore
Hayatana.
scene. Strength for the Reason was one
Yeah.
of the biggest
Oh,
fucking
yeah, that
bands.
too.
Wisdom and
Wisdom
Chains
and
is
Chains.
from
Wisdom
East
and
Stroudsburg,
Chains.
where we're
Yeah.
sitting
Oh,
right now.
that's what I meant to say.
And
Not
still-
Strength for a Reason.
still fucking
I just
good.
went into my.
Strength for Reason's Nanocoke, baby.
Yeah, that's
But
that
the
code.
problem is that like nobody wants, like, out here now there's nobody that is, I guess, doing anything. But also when you do something, everybody's always like the first one to be like, ugh, I'm not in the mood
It's
for
a
that.
lack, also a lack of venues. Really.
Yeah, a lack of venues,
I mean,
and then also the advent of, I mean, all the technology we have. Like literally every single week, the three of us write, record, mix, and master one of those songs. And 20 years ago,
We
the
read
three of us,
60 fucking 70 songs, maybe. you
like
know?
we just have a bunch of songs, and
Let's play a show.
like we did last
We
week.
do.
We play
Well,
once a year.
We
once
play
a
once
year.
a year, and it's we have a. We are lucky in that we
Can we
only,
open?
we only play. Yes,
Fuck
we
yeah.
play together. We only
Let's
play
go.
once a
You can
year,
close if you
and
want.
we-
I want to let's go.
we
Let's
throw a
do
big
it.
party. Like this year, I bought 150 Hawaiian leis to throw out into the crowd while we played.
We all dressed Hawaiian.
We all
outfits.
dressed Hawaiian. The
Nice.
crowd got rowdy. Like
Yeah, there's beer being spilt everywhere. People dance all over the place. But we, for that show, like, I mean, we
but we play once a year because we know that
It's not going to happen if you do it
it's
again.
not going to happen
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
time.
if you do every 3 months, even you're gonna get a third of the person of the turnout, and then the
Sure.
next one's a quarter of that, and then you just all of a sudden are playing to nothing. But I think the advent of all the technology and like social media and everything helps that we can do this every
Sure.
week and things like that, and other people can put their things out. Like fucking Little Pocono is not gonna fucking make it if it's not for what's available now.
Yeah.
But it takes away at the same time from the days where you had to go to one place with all of the other people that were also doing the same thing in their bedrooms, in their garages, and you all got together and you sat around and were probably, because you're teenagers, you're judgmental of the other. You're like, yeah, like are you as like into this as I am? Like, I don't know. Are you as fucking punk rock as me, man?
Yeah, but you
Are
still have to
fucking
show
hardcore
up.
as me? But
You
you
still
gotta
have to
show
show
up.
up. Yeah,
And
it's like-
and after a
But
while,
I
you
feel
start recognizing the people that show up every week, and you go, okay, this is our scene, this is our heart. Everything being kind of more individualized, everyone can just record in their fucking their bedroom if they want to, and put things out on social media. It kind of it takes away from the ability to just be congregating and meeting up